NASA doesn't want you to know they have the last megalodon. NASA used to conduct sea exploration off the US coast back in the 1970s. They spent a lot of their money creating a large underwater enclosure off the coast of Maryland. This large underwater habitat was called Zone F. They would use it to conduct research on rare and endangered species. All this information was unearthed by sailor and diver George Meyer from Houston. Just earlier this year, on April 17th, George was out on a fishing trip near Maryland. Whilst he was out on the water, a storm had hit him, moving his boat farther out to sea. 2 hours later, the storm had stopped. George looked down to check his engine, when suddenly he noticed something unordinary, a massive cage underneath his boat. Through the surface of the water, he could see the metal bars of the enclosure. Luckily, that day, he had his diving gear with him. George then promptly suited up and went down to see what he had just discovered. As he got deeper down, he realized the cage was gigantic. As he closely inspected one of the bars, he noticed a small engraving which read, "Zone F, property of NASA, stay out," on one of the bars. Not only was the cage very wide, it was also very deep. He could not see the bottom. He wondered if it went to the sea floor. Each of the metal rungs was about 2 feet apart, large enough for him to pass through. However, George did not dare to go inside the cage. Right before he was about to go up for air, he heard the sound of metal banging loudly just below him. He could not go down much further. He was already 600 feet down. As he was ascending, he peered into the cage and his blood froze. In the far distance, he had spotted the silhouette of a shark. The shark must have been at least 70 feet in length. He was not able to get a good look at the shark, and it quickly swam away. George went back up and navigated his way back to shore. 2 weeks later, he tried to go back to the cage but could not find it.